Hello everyone. So we have made an infograph on settlement mechanism of future. So our group member name is Aditi Agrawal, Kumari Anvita, Mahadev Chandra, Amy Maria and Ashwin Manoj. So we will be basically explaining about cash settlement and physical delivery. So in cash settled future contracts, the final settlement price isn't singles but rather determined based on benchmarks or indexes. So the method they use is average closing price. So the average of the underlying asset closing price over a specified period, often the last few trading days. And next is published index prices. Specific publishing index values like closing price are designated in the stock exchanges and underlying future prices. The settlement price of the another more liquid future contracts for the same underlying assets, and the examples are stock indices, currencies and interest rate.
So I'll be explaining you the process of the cash settlement. So the first is trading period. Throughout the contract life cycle, a trading mark-to-market adjustments occur based on the market price fluctuations. Second is expiry date. As the contract near expiry, trading cases a specific time. So the third one is financial settlement. The chosen benchmark or index is used to determine the financial settlement price. Fourth one is cash flow adjustment. A clearing house calculates and facilitates the transfer of cash flows. Next, I will be telling you the benefits of cash settlement. So the first one is increased liquidity. It eliminates the need of financial delivery, attracting more participants, and it will boost the market. Second one is lower cost. Avoid storage, transportation or the logistic complexities which is associated with the physical delivery. Third is greater accessibility, makes it easier for the wide range of investors, and the calculation is required is price difference, multiple contract size.
So physical settlement means upon expiration of future contracts, the buyer will be having the rights to take the undervaluing asset from the seller. So seller will be delivering the asset physically according to the contract. The physical settlement is actually directly contrast to the cash settlement, which is settled with cash. And there are some points in physical settlement. One point is contract initiation. How the physical settlement is formed. It is explained. It is formed when two parties agree to exchange an undervaluing asset at a predetermined price when they are not actually transferring the asset at that moment, but they are agreeing to a fixed price for the future date. That's how a future contract is formed. And the next point is margin deposit. So the both parties need to deposit a certain amount of money to the exchange board, whether it will be a broker or a clearing house where they are forming the contract. So they need to deposit a certain sum of money for the deposit for the future contract.
Margin calls. Both parties deposit an initial margin in the clearing house or on the exchange to ensure that they fulfill their obligation. It is like a guarantee. Throughout the contract period, margin requirements may fluctuate based on the market movements. It can go up or down. Then comes the delivery notices. As the settlement date approaches, long party issues a delivery notice to the short party indicating their readiness to receive the underlying asset. The short party responds with a similar notice also. Delivery of underlying assets. On the settlement date, the short party physically delivers the underlying asset to the long party, typically to a warehouse or exchange facilitated delivering process that I have mentioned in the margin calls.
So I will be explaining about the receipt of asset. It refers to an act of acquiring or taking possession of an asset by an individual or an entity. It signifies the moment when the designated party receives a specified asset as a part of transaction or contractual agreement. And the second one I will explain is contract closure. It refers to the finalization or the completion of the contract agreement between two parties. It marks the conclusion of the specific terms and conditions fulfilled by both sides of the parties during the contract. In this process, both parties typically review and contrast and confirm that all the obligations by the two parties are confirmed and fulfilled. And any remaining actions such as settlements or any price adjustments are done in that particular moment of time. And now I will be explaining the margin requirement for physical settlement in futures. In a situation that one chooses physical settlement in futures, cash equivalent to contract value, it needs to be brought intake and delivery of shares when it is buying futures.